What do you want?
The views and opinions expressed in the following podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the DVM production empire. That's how you know it's good.
You're listening to the DVM production empire. Packed with content, millions of downloads, taking the world by force. Join the empire today at dvmpe.com.
Groovy.
All right, Doc, I'm here.
Marty, I made a time machine.
Why do you sound like Batman?
I can't do a Christopher Lloyd impression.
All right, should I call you Batman?
No, call me Doc.
How about Doc Man?
All right, we'll meet in the middle.
What am I doing here, Doc Man?
I made a time machine.
Are you telling me that you made a time machine?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
What is the deal with time machines?
Okay, now you're sounding like Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I gotta go in and out.
Listen, we just need to focus.
Okay.
To other people, we've missed a lot of time. But to us, with this machine, we will have missed no time in between the last time we were on the Stupid Talking Stupid.
Well, that's been a while.
Right, but with this machine, it'll be like we never left. To us. As to everyone else, it seemed like a month, but to us, it'll be normal.
That makes perfect sense.
I'm so glad.
Whoa, what was that?
I don't know. I think I just set an attack.
All right, Doc. Let's go.
All right, I need you to hop in the time machine, and we have to hit at least 14 miles an hour.
What happened to 88?
It's an electric car. Doesn't go that fast.
Okay. 14 miles an hour. And?
Put your seatbelt on.
You're right. Seatbelt laws.
Where we're going, it's still the same laws.
Okay, because it's only like a month ago. This is all making sense.
It will.
It's all very heavy.
We have to go back to the stupid.
That's Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Well,
That's Friends.
How's it go? What's going on, Empire? This is Stupid Talking Stupid on the DVM production empire. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Bear. And we read the stupid, so you don't have to.
We're back.
Yeah, you know, it's been a while. I actually thought that you said that like right after I said it. It was just wrong. Nonetheless, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Since we found stupid stuff to talk about.
But life comes up and shit gets crazy. And
Yep.
Unfortunately, we had to push stuff back. But fortunately, my brother's married now. So yay.
Hooray.
Hooray. He actually got married on a day that we would normally record. So that kind of... It's like, hey, way to pick a good day. Just have your special day when I want to record my podcast, you jerk. But whatever.
Selfish.
Okay, so we have some good old stupid. There's one story in particular that, boy, I wish we could have talked about as soon as it came out, but it's still here. We haven't talked about it yet, so it's fresh and new to us, even if it's not fresh and new to you. Speaking of fresh and new, you ever changed a diaper before?
No.
Well, then that kind of ruins my follow-up question. Well, how about this? If you were going to change a baby's diaper, would you ask the baby for permission? Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Can I change your dirty diaper?
I'm gonna be exposing you
to the world.
To the world right now. I hope you don't mind.
I need permission to change your gross-ass diaper that you shit all over.
Right.
I
think if the baby's old enough to give permission, the baby's old enough to not be shitting in a diaper.
So what you're saying is the exact opposite of a self-appointed sex education expert, Deanne Carson.
Oh, Deanne Carson.
She was on Australia's ABC News Network, who she made the argument that parents should ask children for permission before changing their diapers.
How's the baby supposed to say yes? Baby can't
Doesn't
not.
matter. You got to ask for permission. creates a culture of consent with the baby.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's things that like I read lately. Like I saw a thing that says like, don't make your kids hug people. I actually agree with that.
Well, yeah. If it's like if someone's like your friend for 40 years and they're coming over and it's like, oh, this is Aunt Susan, even though she's not related. It's
right.
like, give Aunt Susan a hug. Why? She's your friend.
I'm good. That's why Pat used to have his kids go thank Uncle Patrick for the gift. Go give him a hug. I'm like,
I'll take a high five.
Yeah. I'm like, they don't clearly want to hug me, so I don't.
They shouldn't have to hug me. They should want to hug me. God.
No,
That's how you came off there a little bit.
No, they clearly don't want to, and I'd rather not be touched myself. So, you know.
Right. What she said is,
do it in an Australian accent.
Oi, we work with it's more of New Zealand, but you know what? For our Australian listener, I am sorry. I'm doing my best.
Oi.
Did you hear my Christopher Lloyd impression?
Yeah, right.
It sounds remarkably like Batman.
Spot on.
Oi, we work with parents from birth, just about how to set up a culture of consent in their homes. I'm going to change your nappy now. Is that okay? Of course, a baby's not going to respond. Yes, Mum, that's awesome. I'd like to have my nappy changed. But if you leave a space and wait for body language and wait to make eye contact, then you're letting the child know that their response matters. I can't. It's such a bad quote to begin with.
Yeah.
Trying to put that accent on, I'm like, I hate her even more. Yeah, she describes herself as a sexuality educator, speaker, and author. She works with Body Safe Australia. The organization works to prevent child abuse and educates children from kindergarten through high school age about consent and respecting boundaries. Okay, so your organization works with kindergartners through high schoolers.
Right.
So it sounds like you are good with like 5 and up.
Right.
So you self-appoint expert. You're like, you know what? Did you ask that baby before you could remove the poop from its butt? You had to wipe deep. You gave him nothing but peas for 3 days.
I know.
And there was like a murder scene in there.
Yeah, no, I've seen it done, and I'm just like, no, I'm good.
You've seen a diaper change? Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to have
Don't
kids.
want anything to do with that. Although it's weird with parents, like, I remember my old boss, Holly, she's sitting there once when she had the baby, and when we were working for Bamboo Room, and she's in the back office, and it's during the day, and she's got the baby, and she's like, oh man, do I have to change you? And she picks up the baby and smells, and goes, no, you're good. I go, do you ever think you'd be doing that? She's like, smelling another person's butt? No. But there's a lot of things that you do as a mother or as a parent that you never thought you'd ever do.
What was the sequel to I think it was Knocked Up when Leslie Mann is like, is that chocolate or poop? And then she just licks it. She's like, oh, it's chocolate. And then she's like, what would you have done if that was poop? It's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess parents are just weird like that.
Yeah. But no, I'm good.
But no, the smell test is usually the go-to.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't want to take it off and then be like, oh, I didn't need to do this. I just wasted it.
Yeah.
I already spend $1,000 a week on diapers. I don't need to start throwing them away all frivolously.
Well, that's why you say you say to everybody with your when you have a baby shower, you tell everybody to bring at least one thing of diapers.
Or see, they do like those diaper cakes, where it's just like 3 tiers of rolled up diapers. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to eat. Give me diapers. Yeah. I need this. There's a spokesperson for a nonprofit organization, Katie Russell, said she's also Australian. So, oi! She's simply making the very reasonable case for establishing a culture of consent in households and with children from the youngest possible age. This is about both getting parents and carers into positive habits of not assuming consent from their children and about teaching children that they have a right to decide what happens to their bodies. Isn't it? It's like New Zealand, Australian, and English.
It's a terrible person.
I can't.
What?
Like, if I have to do like 2 or 3 words, I can you know fake it. But if I have to read sentences,
It's
no.
an emergency.
I don't know. How do you feel about needing consent to change a diaper?
I think it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Really? That's the dumbest shit you've ever heard?
Well, some of the dumbest shit I've ever
I was going to say, how many episodes have we done?
I know, but it's up there.
But she's a self-proclaimed expert. You are really going to spit in the face of a self-proclaimed expert?
Definitely. Because I can be a self-proclaimed expert of anything. But if you don't have, like, a degree in child psychology...
Congratulations. I have a new business card for you. I just have to fill out the 3 things that you are a brand new self-appointed expert in.
Right.
What are you an expert in?
Oh, I'm going to be a self-appointed expert in the relocation of alcohol.
Okay.
I would also like to be the self-appointed expert in Buffy the Vampire Slayer trivia.
Okay, that's a good one. Those two
I
go
be
together.
A geologist.
Well, there you go. Those 3 do go together.
Yep.
You know what else goes together?
What?
MDMA and brie cheese.
Oh my god.
That's right. When there's a bunch of kids doing drugs and dying, it's an epidemic. But if a bunch of housewives get together and do drugs, well, it's a fun, quirky story.
This charcuterie is fucking crazy.
There's a story. This woman doesn't give her name because she's talking about all of her drug use and her parties that she throws.
Right.
She's a 50-year-old businesswoman who said she regularly hosts MDMA-fueled dinner parties at her London home. She said,
"Wow and cheese."
She said, "I have a strong circle of female friends, and we had tried all the latest fads, food fashions, and destination dinner parties, but something was missing.
Drugs.
We did not seem to have as much of a laugh than as we were when we were younger.
Hallucinogenic drugs.
There always seemed to be a barrier up between us. So one of our group suggested we take MDMA together so we could open up to each other and improve our friendships. One of our friends had been given a gram of MDMA by her daughter and had no idea how to take it. Although some of us had taken Coke before, but none of us had taken MDMA. So she, of course, called her son and said, 'How do I do this drug?' And he's like, 'Yeah, don't sniff it. You just swallow it.' So she's like, 'Well, the only thing we have is put it in a cigarette paper and then put it in brie cheese, and then we all took some of it.' Turned out to be a great thing. They said nothing happened for a while, but then all of a sudden colors in the rug seemed to be more vivid.
All of a sudden, brunch got awesome.
Mm-hmm. They're like, 'You guys, I fucking get brunch now.'
Mimosa. Such a funny word. Mimosa.
What if it's just a combination of 2 words? What's a mim?
What's a memo? And a sa.
Sa, dude.
Who's better at eggs? And you make eggs. Like, did he just make really good eggs? Because he's got to have eggs named after you.
I think, yeah.
Mimosa.
A year later, she's been invited to brie-ing parties because it's become a whole fad where everyone just puts MDMA in brie cheese and gets fucking high because they're a bunch of bored housewives. This is
Hi, can I introduce you to cocaine canapé?
Oh, you know what? I have a really long day. I don't know if you know what? Maybe just
how about some ecstasy eggs?
Just a little bit.
Eggs?
Just a little. Like
heroin hamburger.
Is it vegan?
It is.
Then definitely. Turned the
cracked cucumber sandwich.
Ooh, you know what?
Acid avocado dip. Anyone?
That is delightful. Where'd you get the avocados from?
The market. Ask me where I got the acid from.
I'm not too concerned, but where'd you get the acid from?
I don't know, but your face is melting.
Turns out I've been holding it this whole time in my cheek like a hamster. There's no acid for anyone else.
No.
I need an adult.
But this avocado is great.
That's a dog.
It's a superfood.
It's not an avocado. That's a dog.
You say avocado, I say dog. Whatever.
No, I said dog.
Whatever. Tell your other face to shut up.
Please tell me the guacamole, you didn't make it. Well,
what are you doing in my house?
You're in a public pool.
What?
A public pool.
What are you doing in my pool?
I pay taxes. This is my pool. It's empty. The pool is empty. It's been closed. Get out of the pool.
What are you doing in my bathtub? It's huge.
Your water bill must be enormous. So between 2013 and 2016, there was a fourfold increase in British female clubbers getting emergency treatment from after taking MDMA, and now women are two to three times more likely to seek emergency treatment because of it.
I just see like a Volkswagen station wagon like pull up. Just dump her in front of the hospital. Just go. Just go. You were never with us.
Some minivan, you kick her out and a bunch of like sporting equipment falls out too. No, I need Bradley's soccer cleats.
Just go.
The whole idea of breeing is just a new thing that we have to apparently get used to. It's a thing over in London, and I don't know. I think we're pretty good on mething around, like in Florida. We can't really say much because we had, I think, every case
That's
of
what was missing. Meth, matzo ball soup.
Oh, I'm not Jewish.
Damn it.
I think Florida. Well, I think just the U.S. was the only country that had people doing bath salts and eating people. So we can't really talk too much shit about, hey, you want some cheese? It'll make you feel feelings.
Right.
But there is one woman, a 45-year-old single sales manager, says she regrets getting involved in the cheese parties, saying, I thought it was funny that we were all taking E's and cheese together, and we did have a real laugh on the night. But the come down I had was absolutely terrible. Perhaps because I do not have a partner to go home to, and a big hug from it was worse for me. I still felt incredibly sad on the Tuesday night after taking it on the weekend. I'll never do it again. Yes, that's my... Yes, that's my 45-year-old single saleswoman from London accent.
That's great.
You know what else is going on in England?
What?
Using emojis to teach Shakespeare.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I will not shut the fuck up.
Oh.
I will smiley face with an X over the mouth.
Is this an eggplant I see before me?
Romeo, oh Romeo. You up?
WTF, Romeo.
Squirt gun. So, a number of teachers are using emojis as learning aids, believing they can help pupils connect with English literature and other subjects. Students at one college have been asked to summarize scenes in A Midsummer Night's Dream using emojis.
Yeah, that's what you use the eggplant for.
Yeah.
Because they be fucking in Midsummer Night's Dream.
The head teacher at St. Matthias School in Bethnal Green, East London, Claire Seeley, says, as educators, we have not a single minute to waste teaching trivia such as emojis.
Oh!
How will such learning help bridge the word gap? How can we help disadvantaged children gain the sorts of powerful knowledge that children in, say, the top public schools have? Not by devoting precious curriculum time to detritus of youth subculture. That would be fiddling with while Rome burns. It's just unfortunate that every story so far has been...
Yeah, with an accent.
Ugh. Can't wait to get to some American stupid so I can just, talk like Batman again. Hodgson, who teaches English at Avonbourne College in Bournemouth. Could you just have, some real fucking names of places? What is this?
They'll never were places before we. I mean,
You shut up.
Before we were here.
Before we made everything normal.
We've got, Toledo, and they're like, we've got New Brunswick, Hyam, Shinfire, Shinman, Ferd.
Oh, the Ferd. Yeah, I get it. She said that everyone in her department uses emojis, and they've helped her students to engage with Shakespeare.
I don't see how.
Well, here, let me explain her process. I've just taught A Midsummer's Night's Dream, and when we've read a bit of the scene, they summarize it in 2 main emojis, and then have to explain it. The emojis are not used by themselves. There's always some... Fuck, I hurt. There is always some kind of verbal or written explanation that then allows you to check the pupil's literacy, writing skills, or speech skills. The emojis just give them a starting point when they understand. I like how you backed up as soon as I started screaming at that moment. Like, I'll just go to the wall so I can stay away from you.
I don't... It's just terrible. It's the dumbification of... As a self-proclaimed expert on Shakespeare, I will say one cannot summarize it into
2 emojis.
2 emojis,
Well,
and if you try, you should get William Shakespeare's permission first.
Well, I mean, the world's most used emoji was named Oxford Dictionary's Word of the Year in 2015. Do you know which one that was? It was the crying with laughter face.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the no expression smiley face. The thing just sits there and looks at you like, what?
Luca Coleman is a modern foreign language teacher, and also over there in a weird place. He doesn't have an accent, though. Fortunately, he just says, wherever possible, I take out the English words in the text and replace them with an emoji, so they associate the French with an image rather than an English translation. So now we're teaching foreign languages with emojis to try to help bridge the gap. I don't think I would have retained any more French from high school if there
were emojis.
If there were emojis, yeah. It reminds me of. I used to have these books as a kid that had it was like a hardcover book, and then like on the left hand side there was a bunch of buttons that made certain noises. Like I'm talking like when I was a child, like. So
the duck goes.
Well, no, because like it'd just be like there was like a Ninja Turtles theme one, and there.
Oh yeah.
So like when you get to like the sewer, and like it would just have a sewer icon, you go hit the sewer button, and it'd make a little sound. It's like, I'm learning, but like I was 6.
Right.
You're teaching people in college the same way.
Well, Rosetta Stone kind of works that way.
So you think using emojis to teach languages would be good?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking that you could use the picture of whatever the fuck you're talking about. Well, that'd probably be better than using emojis.
I mean, it's the same as a flashcard.
Well, I mean, when I was doing Arabic in Russian, or Arabic in Rosetta Stone.
I was doing Arabic and Russian. I was like, well, that's impressive.
No, I was doing Arabic and Rosetta Stone. Thought it was disconcerting that the first word you learn is plain, but that's okay. But you click, when it says the word, you click what it is, and then you start to learn that way. It's a good way to learn, but I don't know why I would use emojis. Just use what it is.
They just have to. Cambridge University offers teachers an emoji lesson plan. And advice from Lindsay Clanfield, an English language teacher trainer, who describes emojis as the modern equivalent of hieroglyphics.
Oh my god! One day they're gonna be digging something up, and it's gonna be like smiley face, thumbs up, eggplant,
water, splash face,
chicken.
I don't know what they were doing here, but they sure weren't building pyramids.
No, they were not.
And then this teacher, Lindsay Clanfield, suggests that teachers use emojis as writing prompts. Choose 4 or 5 at random and ask students to write them up into a story. So I'm just going to give you 4 or 5 random emojis, and I want you to make a story about them.
This is dumb.
Well, it's what they're doing nowadays. If all the kids want to do is use their emojis, then we got to teach them with the emojis.
It's like
it goes back to the last episode from a month ago, when they started removing analog clocks from schools because kids couldn't be asked to learn how to use anything.
Well, and then they go and they make everything more difficult by changing math.
You son of bitches. I don't know. A lot of people are saying the research found that over a third of British adults believe that emojis are to blame for the deterioration of the English language. But almost 3/4 of adults are now dependent on emojis to communicate with one another via text message or social media.
Well, like I said,
So what do you do?
I went out with a girl that would say LOL, and I said, stop that.
Like, she would type it out, or in person?
In person.
It's bad enough. It's like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to say that's funny. Like, I'm not going to say that's funny. I'm going to say LOL. And then later on, she'll just like...
She'd walk away and go BRB. I'm like, I'll be right back. Use our words.
You are such a George Costanza.
It doesn't matter.
You're such a GS. A G-swizzle.
Separates us from the damn animals.
The Danimals?
Yeah.
Are you saying we're not snacks?
We are not.
How dare you?
Isn't that Garanimals?
Danimals is yogurt. Yogurt's a snack.
Okay.
What is, I don't know. Are you going to try to eat yogurt? Are you going to try to eat yogurt for a meal? I just had a yogurt for a meal. You didn't have a yogurt. You had a snack for breakfast. Shut up. I just had a half an apple. Okay, well, sounds like you have a problem.
It's an acid.
That's not the craziest thing going on in schools, but it's surely going on in England. What's going on in schools over here on the winning side?
Math.
Nope. We have some news out of Pennsylvania, Northern Lebanon School District. Do you know what they're doing to students at North Lebanon School District in Pennsylvania?
No.
Students in these schools are required to smile when walking down hallways between classes. It is mandatory that you walk around with at least fake it as much as you want, but you have to walk around with a big shit-eating grin on your face, or else you're going to get in trouble.
That's bullshit.
Students who don't smile are either told either to smile, or they have to go see a guidance counselor to discuss their problems. Their way of reaching out to the students to see if they need help is, if you're not smiling, we're going to say something's wrong with you. You can't just be tired. No. You smile right now, goddammit. It's there.
Well, that goes against the whole idea, like, in the women's movement. They're like, stop telling me to smile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to. If I don't want to, I shouldn't have to.
Mm-hmm. Parents and teachers are reporting that bullying incidents are being ignored by school administrators. So this is the administration's way of trying to fix the bullying problem. One mother, Jean Gundram, has a 15-year-old daughter that she decided to pull out of the school and enroll in the district's cyber school as a result of the forcing of the smile policy. She's saying,
right.
This is fucking stupid. She'll take online classes. That 15-year-old says, if you don't smile, you get called to the office or down to see your guidance counselor. You have to talk about your problems then. You have to, or you get detention. So, okay. If you're not smiling, you get told to smile. If you don't, then you go to the guidance counselor and they say, what's wrong? If you say nothing, they're like, okay, you get detention.
That's just fucked.
It is fucked. Here's the thing, though. Assistant high school principal Benjamin Wagner has taken it upon himself to enforce the rule, which is not a written rule within the district. So this one person, assistant principal, it's always the assistant principal. Never the principal, it's always the assistant principal.
Bet I know who he voted for.
State law required schools to adopt an anti-bullying policy by January 1st of 2009, and the district has a written policy regarding bullying. However, he decided, he's like, this will fix everything.
How about the fact that he's bullying them?
That's not a thing. You got making them smile. Smiles are good.
No.
Smiles are good. You can't possibly call that
They
bullying.
literally mask pain.
I'm not a kid. I'm just protesting. That would be funny if everyone just walked around like forcing a frown all day, but then they'd start laughing and start smiling from it. I know I'd be laughing my ass off if everyone's walking around with just like mean mugging everyone else.
No, but they're going to be smiling and be like, you're going to kick your ass. That's right. I'm going to find you after school.
Saying the worst things.
I'm going to beat your fucking ass.
I'm going to come back with a gun.
Wow. That's what's going to happen.
So the same mother has a 14-year-old daughter in the school saying that she was bullied as soon as the 2017-2018 school year began, and it still hasn't been addressed by school officials. But the superintendent swears...
It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot.
The superintendent swears any bullying incident that's reported to the school is taken seriously. And, that's...
See, I can't... If I am a parent, man, I really feel bad for the public school that I send my kid to, because if they come up with stupid-ass shit like this, I will be at that meeting, and I will be...
So your kid's going to come home, let's say from 6th grade. They got emoji English homework. They got new math. And they have a detention because they weren't smiling. Do you let them stay in that school? Or?
No, absolutely not.
You're like, I'm going to get a second job. I'm going to send you to private school.
Yeah.
It'll be the worst one, but it won't be this one.
But you'll be learning things. Not emoji literature and fucking forced smiles.
And just when you think, well, the lesson's planned, maybe it's over, finally graduation comes, it's graduation season. Once you graduate, then all the shit is gone, and you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Wrong. Because in Greenville, South Carolina...
I just like that nobody can make me run anymore. Like, I do it, but I do it because I want to. Not because there's a designated class that's going to make me do it.
What if there's a designated Sharknado chasing you?
Well,
you can't make me run.
I want to run is what it comes down to.
So I'm doing this because I want to, not because you're making me.
Not because you're bullying me. Smile.
Smile running from a Sharknado. So Greenville, South Carolina, they have a huge problem with people cheering during graduation. There was a slide shown in a school assembly before the graduation, so I'd assume it was like the week before, that said, since graduation is a dignified and solemn occasion, graduating seniors and their guests should behave appropriately. Please ask your guests not to call out, cheer, whistle, or applaud during the reading of names and presentation of diplomas. The citation for family members yelling out is... I want you to guess how much this fine is that they can get for cheering at a graduation.
Wait, so the school's going to fine them?
No.
The city?
The police. Because it's a...
$100.
It's a publicly sanctioned event that falls under jurisdiction of the Greenville Police Department. As a result, police would have the authority to cite or fine people who disrupt the ceremony.
Well, first of all, how big can that class be?
I don't know. Let's say it's 3. Let's say it's 400 students.
Okay.
Because that's what mine was. We'll say 400 students.
Okay.
And you got people. Since I graduated, there were people always hooting and hollering, and they still said, "Please don't."
Oh, someone had an air horn at mine.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, I know a lot of graduations, they're like, it just makes it go longer. This is like a 3-hour thing. Can we just move along? So what would you guess what the fine? $100. $1,030.
Shut the fuck up.
For
that, talk about a deterrent.
For a citation of family members yelling out. So your son made it through emoji English class, made it through new math class, made it through being bullied, but wasn't allowed to stand up for themselves because of zero tolerance policy. They're finally graduating. You're excited, and they say, "And dumbass Newton," because I don't know what your name, but it probably fits. You know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
How dare you?
Okay, so Shavante Newsom. What are you gonna?
I'm naming my kid Shavante.
Why not?
My friend Mike always said he wanted to have 2 kids, or 3 kids, Nert, Javiva, and Shaniqua, Queen of the Jungle.
Listen, you're going to have an Asian wife, so Shavante just works.
In fact, so much that I call his kids Nert and Javiva. They were not named that.
And then, does he force you to hug them?
No.
$1,000. I like that they put the $30 on there too. It's like $1,000 fine plus shipping and handling.
Right. That's dumb. Super dumb.
Fortunately, the Greenville Police Sergeant Jonathan Bragg said that screaming somebody's name or congratulating them, that's not a police matter. We would only get involved when there's actually a criminal matter. As far as charging someone for yelling, we have not done that. But because it's an actual law and the school may be a dick about it, they may try to like force things. This has already happened, and I didn't see any news of anyone actually getting fined.
God.
But you're threatening people $1,000 fine for celebrating a pretty good accomplishment. Nope.
Yeah, and especially, like, they're out the door. Like, it's their last chance to, like, fuck with a student, like, one more time.
Well, isn't...
Or their family. I think we had... I remember, like, the year I graduated, I think we had, like... The way that the schedule was we had senior breakfast, which was also senior breakfast and graduation rehearsal.
Okay.
And then we got to leave. We left that day for... because it was the prom. So you get to go get ready and stuff. You only had a half day as a senior. Did the prom thing. Did the graduation ceremony. I think because we had a snow day that year. Like they had added a day onto the school year.
Yeah.
And
after graduation?
I think they wanted us to come like after graduation or something like that. Because it felt the way our finals were before the graduation, obviously.
Right.
Because they had to be. And then there was just like bullshit day. And they were like, we expect you to be here. I'm like, I literally have my diploma in my hand. I will not be coming back.
I think with some schools, when you walk, they don't actually hand you your diploma. They hand you the empty diploma holder, and then they mail it to you afterwards.
No, we not only did we have our diplomas already, they spelled my name wrong.
Schmatrick?
No, Newsom.
So you guys have 4 years to get this thing right.
I was on playbills. I was on posters. I was AT's best like 14, 15 times. And they had my name right every time. The one time.
Probably because they knew you weren't going to come to that last day. It's like, we got him. This son of a bitch. This son of a bitch isn't going to show up. So you're like, hey, you guys spelled it wrong. Oh, well, why don't you come in tomorrow at 8 a.m.
No.
And we will get this taken care of. No! Fuck you! Sir, are you swearing on school grounds?
Yep.
The fucking right I am.
I'm not smiling either.
Well, sir, we don't give a shit. It's the 70s.
Shut up. I graduated in 1997.
BC. Boom! Roasted. It's time for everyone's favorite new segment. Goat news.
Did you say goat newts?
No, goat news.
Oh.
It's everyone's favorite new segment.
This is not a visual thing. I'm going to be like, guys, seriously.
Look at this dog.
Look at this goat.
This dog.
I know you can't see
is
it.
Huge.
But it's huge.
Might as well call this motherfucker a ram. Because he will tear down that door. So, we've talked enough about goats on this show because goat news is funny. People get, goats giving jobs, goats doing things. Now we finally have a story about a goat that's no longer allowed to do his job.
What?
Because American Airlines hates goats.
Jerks.
American Airlines is banning hoofed, horned, creepy, and crawly creatures from flying as emotional support animals.
This is my support tarantula.
It doesn't matter. Anything displaying threatening behavior like growling or biting won't be allowed on board either. The carrier will require a 48-hour notice of plans to fly with an emotional or psychiatric support animal. And travelers need to present a form signed by a medical health professional showing the disability involved.
A lot of this must be in response to Jim Jeffries, because Jim Jeffries did a whole bit about it. Because like you could put a vest on anything and call it an emotional support animal.
Well, because
before there was very little regulation.
Like the law says, you're not even allowed to ask someone.
Right.
Like if they say this is an emotional support animal, or like, this is a support dog. Like, oh, for what? You can't ask me that.
You can't ask, because it's personal.
Yeah, it's a personal medical thing.
He even got a camel certified, and it had a gigantic vest on. He's like, "This is Craig. Craig is my support camel, and he'll be coming on my next airplane flight."
They're saying amphibians, ferrets, goats, hedgehogs, insects, spiders, snakes, rodents, and sugar gliders are among the creatures banned by American for use as support animals. Non-household birds, as well as animals with tusks, horns, and hooves, are also not allowed.
My walrus has to stay at home.
Does it have
sugar
tusks?
gliders? Those are those little...
The little, like, flying squirrel things. Yeah, it looks like a little chipmunk, but he flies, and it's the most adorable thing. But you have to have two of them because they get depressed, and if you have one, it'll just kill itself.
I've seen those. There was one of those. There's a dealer at WizardCon one year. Like, it was close to our booth.
Yeah.
And I kept looking over there, like, oh my god.
You'd have to get two of them because they get depressed.
Well,
super easy.
that's one of the things he said. I was like, how much is one? And they're like, well, these are about $150.
That's it.
Right. I was like, okay. He's like, but you're gonna really want to get two because if you leave the house, maybe if I leave the house, he's like, well, if they're lonely, they're suicidal. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they can jump and fly or jump and not fly. Do you imagine you just come home and he jump from his perch?
Said I can't take it anymore. There's a note.
It's like when you leave and your dog was like, it's been like 5 minutes.
Sincerely, Steven.
I've been calling him Franklin this whole time. No wonder he's pissed.
No wonder he's upset.
He's like, listen, you not even bothered to learn. I know your name, Patrick. Oh my god, his handwriting.
I feel first of all,
I feel attacked.
I feel responsible a bit, but his handwriting, flawless. It's almost like calligraphy. Who knew?
Who knew? He seems like he's left-handed. You could tell by the slanting of it. A left-handed sugar glider. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought it?
We go from one story about goats being removed from their jobs to another story about goats having a job created for them. In fact, a job that already exists for humans, but now these goats are taking our jobs. He's taking our jobs. In Oregon, in the Silvies Valley Ranch, there is a small golf course. I believe it's 7 holes. Like it's not really like a full one. It's just kind of there for fun. They have created a new job for goats. No, it's not like the other goats where they go around maintaining the grounds and eating all the weeds and stuff. No. These goats are the caddies for this golf course. They're
caddies.
Sure. The ranch has developed the world's first professionally trained goat golf caddies. It's a 7-hole golf course. Starting in July, guests at the ranch will be able to rent a goat to follow them around the McVeigh golf course. The job pays in peanuts because the goat wears custom-made goat golf bag carrier, like a vest, that Oregon-based company Seamus Golf designed to carry clubs, beverage cans, and their favorite treats. So it carries, you want some drinks? You got your drinks. You want your golf clubs? You got your golf clubs. You want to make sure your caddy's happy? Give him a little handful of peanuts. It's all right there in the special vest. The ranch's goat training program school just for goats for now, but they plan to double that number next season, with the most successful graduate is 4-year-old Bruce LeGoat. He's the caddy master.
That's hilarious.
The vice president of Sylvia's Valley Ranch, Colby Marshall, talked about it. She's saying that we try to get goats we've had goats hanging out, going into the restaurant looking for,
food.
Looking for food. And we're like, well, why don't we?
He's on break. Leave him alone.
Why don't we just give him something to do? So they contacted Seamus Golf, who, for some reason, had no experience designing golf accessories for goats. But the company's co-founder, Akbar Christie, said that it's an opportunity that they weren't going to turn down. She was like, I was like, this is the coolest thing I could possibly do. I'm never going to get this chance again, so we're going to do it. And he was super excited. The first prototype took nearly 30 hours to make, and they put it on a large golden doodle dog to test it out. And I'm like, oh, this works fine. But once you put it on a fucking goat that's huge, like a 250-pound goat, they figured out, it's not really, it doesn't fit, and they poop different. The pooping was a problem for the prototype. Like, we gotta work on the pooping for our caddies. This is dangerous.
I just like the idea of he's like sitting there, and so it's like you got your goat caddy, and your goat caddy's name is Bingo. So it's like, all right, Bingo, what do you think I should use here? Really? I think that's more of a 3-wood. Okay. I didn't think I had the distance, but you're the goat caddy. Sorry.
You just had stopped in mid podcast. Wait, hold on. I have an idea.
That just makes me so happy.
So the bag weighs just 10 pounds, but it does have the most important feature of a peanut holder, which is what they use to train the goats. And then, at first, the vice president of the ranch said the goats would just follow her around, and she tried giving them peanuts to kind of like teach them how to train them like a dog. And turns out you can train a goat to be a golf caddy. And now they have 4 caddies right now for their 7-hole golf course.
It reminds me of you ever seen Charlie Wilson's War?
No.
About the first time that we gave arms to Afghanistan to get the Russians out, and inadvertently began Al Qaeda. But that's nonetheless. But at one point in time, like Philip Seymour Hoffman's sitting there and he's talking about like what it'll take to get the Russians out of there, and he's like, well, you got to do weaponry. There's donkeys. We have to make sure the donkeys are healthy. We have to train them. Mm-hmm. He's like, train them for what? He's like, to basically scale and walk over mountains. And he goes, all right, well, I may be crazy or something, but isn't that inherently what a donkey does? And he's like, you'd think so. He's like, all right, once we train the donkeys, what is this going to cost?
Well, animal welfare activists are complaining about the goats.
They get peanuts. They get a job.
Well,
they were just wandering around before we gave them employment.
Fleur Dawes, the communications director at the Defense of Animals, said,
fuck her.
Sylvie's goat caddy gimmick is anything but cute. Goats are thinking, feeling individuals with their own wants and needs. Their frames were never made to carry golf bags.
They want a peanut.
Well, that's what...
and they're getting it. This is not goat charity.
Marshall said that the goats are treated... They get good food, clean water, they get breaks in between rounds, and they also have a veterinarian on site who gives them regular checkups. They're taken care of.
Yeah.
It's just... Calm the fuck down.
Fleur
Dawes. Your name sounds like if you taught a goat to speak, and that's the first thing it said out. I was like, Fleur Dawes!
Oh, really? Really? You think the putter, huh?
Yeah, it was me the whole time. I just can't do Christopher Lloyd. I can do a great goat.
Do a great goat.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird, do you know how many of any one food item you've eaten in your life?
No.
Like if I say how many How many slices of pizza have you had in your life?
Oh man, I could imagine.
What let's say a special thing. Like how many Big Macs would you say you've had? Like an exact number, please.
No way.
No, you wouldn't. You'd have no idea. Well, you're not Dan Gorski from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, who just gobbled down his 30,000th Big Mac. 30,000 Big Macs. I know what you're saying. How can you possibly prove it? He has
a tally.
He has records, and he keeps the wrappers.
The wrappers, they come in boxes.
Sorry, that's what I meant. He keeps the boxes.
That's dumb. That's a very specific kind of hoarder.
Well, here's the thing: the McDonald's that he goes to promoted the monumental event held at 3 p.m. under the Golden Arches, and it was attended by McDonald's franchise owner D.W. Rouse, saying that Don has a passion for Big Macs like no other.
Wait, where was this?
Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I know I'm right.
Go on.
Don't you dare. Saying that
there's a passion for...
You see, Don has a passion for the Macs of the biggest size. Pip pip. National headquarters for McDonald's even sent out a thing saying, we are loving Don Gorski's enthusiasm for our iconic Big Mac sandwich and appreciate his ongoing loyalty.
Like I said, McDonald's has a sense of humor. Like whoever does their Twitter, basically, I was telling you before, they put out on behalf of like Pride Weekend, they put out essentially Pride fries. Mm-hmm. It's a large fry, and on the back there's a rainbow. So someone's like, "This is them trying to influence our families." I say that we should boycott, and everything that was on Twitter.
You should boycott. Eat a vegetable.
Well, at any rate, he's like, we should boycott this because they're trying to influence our families and blah blah blah. Whoever does the Twitter at McDonald's said, it's like, if you feel that Pride is about inclusion, as well as McDonald's is about inclusion. And as far as the fries go, you'd probably like them. You have something in common. You're both salty.
Gorski said he's a 64-year-old retired prison guard, and he had representatives from the Guinness Book of World Records come to Fond du Lac to record him eating his 29,482nd Big Mac.
Damn it!
An event that was on
how much?
29,482.
Oh,
that was a record. An event that was broadcast on a Facebook Live feed.
Oh, that beat the Children's Hospital of 29,481. You're probably going to have to tell them.
Let's wait to tell Timmy. Let's wait to tell him at the end of the show.
Okay, but I mean,
just trust me. Just trust me. We're going to wait to talk to Timmy.
All right, he's going to be real sad. Anyway, go on.
He gave a half-hour presentation to a crowd that had gathered to watch him eat his 30,000th burger. So the people were watching on Facebook Live.
This is really good, guys. I mean, not as good as my 29,999, but it's more like reminiscent of like a 14,842. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I put a smiley face next to that hash mark. You can see that means that I enjoyed that one.
He showed off his record books and how he keeps track of thousands of receipts, sandwich wrappers, and containers. He's saying while he managed through the years to preserve and categorize most everything related to Big Mac obsession, he did lose about 7,000 or so styrofoam containers that were damaged in a tornado in 1990.
Yeah, the original, before we cared about the planet.
And he himself put 7,000 up in the air on June 2nd, 1990, because a tornado came through.
He also lost his wife that day.
Yeah, but he didn't lose 7,000 wives. It's like he lost 7,000 children. Pieces of proof. He also appeared in, let's see. He figures it took him 356 days to eat his first 1,000 Big Macs. On the day, this article says this, but I know it's kind of a lie because I saw that one movie. On the day of McDonald's founder Ray Kroc died in 1984. He wasn't the founder. He was just kind of... But whatever. Gorski ate his 5,978th Big Mac. And he remembers the day that McDonald's switched to shredded lettuce. Do you remember when McDonald's switched to shredded lettuce away from the leaf lettuce? Do you remember? Do you remember? You don't? How could you not remember? It was a big day.
What year was it?
1999.
Really?
February 10th, 1999. They switched to shredded lettuce. He wrote it down on his little notes.
Don't remember it not being shredded lettuce.
It's been so long. You just kind of got used to it.
I guess.
Things change, man, and he's got the proof. He's made television appearances on The Rachel Ray Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Lopez Tonight, I've Got a Secret, I don't know where this goes, Oprah, Inside Edition. He was also in the movie Super Size Me. I do remember seeing him, like when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, they did have a fucking freak in there. Sure enough, he's still going. In 2003, Ellen DeGeneres requested his cholesterol be checked, and it was only a 140. That's a normal number. He
doesn't eat it every day.
Yeah, he does.
He eats a Big Mac every day?
Pretty much, yeah. And yeah, he does. I'll tell you what. He eats them every day except for like a couple days, but we're getting there. In 2006, he ran the San Diego Marathon carrying his 21,387th Big Mac. How many marathons have you run with Big Macs?
Just 4.
And he's gone about 8 days total without eating a Big Mac. It took him about 4 decades to do it.
Oh my God.
The first day he missed was the hardest, he said, and that was in 1982 when he drove in a snowstorm to get his sandwich, and the restaurant was closed. Those sons of bitches.
It's like, no!
It's like you drove all the way to the scary part of the city to find your dealer and found out, oh, he took a personal day. Great.
Yeah, not all McDonald's are great, man. I remember during the Beanie Baby fiasco, we were coming back from the White Sox game, and my friend Mike's mom wanted to stop at a McDonald's
to get the Beanie Babies
in like Southside, and nobody wanted to get out of the car. I'm like, you people are ridiculous. And I got out of the car, but the minute I got into McDonald's, I was kind of like,
you got stabbed.
Yeah.
Another day that he didn't eat. They don't go. He doesn't go through all the days, but this is the second one that he talks about.
Ramadan.
April 27th, 1988. You know what day that was? He made a promise to his mom to not eat a Big Mac on the day that she died. She's like, listen, you don't got much going for you, but don't you fucking eat one of these sandwiches when I die. You take 1 day off, you piece of shit.
The next time he didn't eat one was when the Challenger exploded.
Because he was on it. He landed safely.
I remember watching that, and I remember being in science class, and
I'm thinking, I want a Big Mac.
I want a Big Mac.
I want a 10,000th Big Mac real quick.
No, but I remember watching it in science class, and like the teacher being like, okay. I was like, that thing just exploded, because it literally exploded. He turned the TV off real quick.
It's like, no, we're doing math now.
And it's like, science is over. Everyone outside.
You know how you always want to have class outside? Class outside today.
Class outside.
Oh my God.
Just showed.
It launched right above us. It's raining on top of us.
It just showed the death of all these people.
And now, keeping with the stupid food trend we got going on right now, we have a crime solved by food. A statue of the Virgin Mary was stolen outside of St. Mary's Catholic Church in Wisconsin. That's right. 2 food-related stories in Wisconsin. What are the chances? Pretty good.
Found at the scene was 10,000 Big Mac wrappers.
That'd be an amazing coincidence. Like, oh, I dropped
It wasn't me!
I was framed. It took them 3 years, but I was framed. According to police, they found this food item at the scene and were able to determine it had been purchased at the Quick Trip gas station across the street. Lucky for them, surveillance cameras were rolling and reportedly captured Brian Yonker, Miranda Linder, and Katie Kelly making the purchase and then walking across the street to the church. What was the food item that they purchased at the Quick Trip in Wisconsin that led to their inevitable capture after stealing the Virgin Mary statue from St. Mary's Catholic Church?
A frozen burrito.
Ooh, that's a good guess, but you are not correct.
Oh.
You only got we'll give you 2 more guesses.
Hot dog.
Ooh, you are so damn close. You are so damn close to a hot dog. Ooh.
Corn dog?
There it is. Ding 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 ding. Graduation fine.
Were they gonna put it in the hands of the
I don't know, but they
Look at Mary. I think she wants a corn dog.
fuck it. Let's just steal it. The corn dog fell on the floor. Just leave it. They
I think that she didn't like it.
That's just she ran away to get real food. I'll be back in 10. McDonald's is still open.
Right.
Maybe Gorski's still there.
I kind of want a Big Mac now that we've been talking about it. I haven't had one.
Do you want 30,000 Big Macs?
No, but I haven't had one in like.
Is there 30,000 of any like actual, not like grains of rice, but like a sandwich, like a main meal portion? Is there 30,000 of anything that you would want to eat for the next 4 decades? You have to eat this once a day, every single day, sometimes twice a day. The only day you can't is when the Challenger explodes, when there's a snowstorm and the place is closed, and your mom dies.
Careful. I'm a big fan of the Monterey Chicken Ranch from Wendy's.
You think you can eat 30,000 of those over the next 4 decades?
Maybe.
I want you to start keeping track of every time you eat one. And at the end of season 5 of Stupid's Talking Stupid, we're going to see how many you've had, and we'll do the math to figure out how long it'll take you to reach 30,000. I want you to keep those receipts.
But that's going to mess with my diet.
Hey, if you have one, then we'll know it'll take you 30,000 years.
True.
I'm not saying you have to try to reach it.
Okay.
Just saying, if it naturally occurs, if it occurs in the wild,
Keep track.
just keep the receipts. Put it in a shoebox called "Why am I doing this?"
What about you? Is there anything that you...
There's nothing that I'd want to have 30,000 of.
No?
No, like
What about that sandwich you really like from Schmaltz's?
I haven't had one of those in a year.
Okay. You're well on your way.
Yeah, no, I'm just like I don't like they're good and everything, but it's like this, I don't think there's anything that I'd want to eat every single day. That's literally you have to eat one a day, every day to reach 30,000 in 4 decades.
I went to Schmaltz's. I liked it. I prefer an Italian deli, but you know.
Okay, well, some people are wrong. It's fine.
Well, there's no salami.
You're a salami. So, officers tracked these thieves down with their corn dog crimes. I just love that a corn dog has been used to solve a crime now. Like that's for real and forever in the system. That's in a file somewhere. That's going to be in a national database because it's not everything's digital now. So that's filed away in a computer.
Yeah.
You get pulled over in Pennsylvania for speeding. They say, "Well, you have a history of theft involving corn dogs. You're going to the clink, son."
Sticking with me.
You're
Yeah,
gonna try.
stick.
And we have one more fantastic food story.
Oh, God.
This one is out of Canada, eh?
Oh, no.
We're going to go ahead and, let's see. Doug Boss is the owner of a business that, we'll say, drove his employee through the Dairy Queen drive-thru, and now he's in serious trouble. The problem is he owns a zoo, and the employee is a bear.
Okay.
Took a bear through the drive-thru to get an ice cream cone. They,
He's like, what a blizzard.
It's a 1-year-old Kodiak bear named Berkeley who was leaning out the passenger window of a pickup truck and looking at an ice cream cone held out by the restaurant's owner. Discovery Wildlife Park is the zoo. They had a video that they put up and they got a ton of criticism, so they pulled it down. They defended it by saying it was supposed to be a message about safety. The message was...
Bring your bears in the car.
You'd think so, but the message was, don't feed the bears. Don't stop on the side of the road. If everybody would listen to the video, that's what the message was. Don't do this. So their message was, don't do this incredibly dangerous thing that we're doing.
Right.
We're doing it because we're professionals. Okay, but you still brought a bear in a pickup truck. Oh, sure, you had the chain around its neck to like act as a leash.
Yeah, but still.
But you're still in the car. You're still in the truck with the fucking bear, and it's reaching out the window to daintily lick an ice cream cone from someone's hand. He's gonna chomp your hand.
Right.
Fuck everything about this. It's in Alberta, and it's been charged under the Wildlife Act for taking the bear out without informing the authorities. One count relates to the ice cream excursion, and another for failing to inform the officials the bear was being taken home nightly for bottle feeding in 2017. The owners of the park saying they plan to plead guilty, saying we made a mistake. You know, every time we take an animal off the property, we're supposed to notify Fish and Wildlife, send them an email, and we forgot to do that in both instances.
We're trying to learn from our mistakes. Please bear with us.
God damn. You get out. You get the fuck out.
This is a grisly mistake. And we rawr.
We hope to act the polar opposite of this.
Ah, there it is.
The zoo's permit has also been revised to include new conditions requiring the zoo provide more details when transporting animals and to keep them in a cage, crate, or kennel while in the vehicle. Members of the public will also be barred from having any contact with animals, including bears. So because you decided, let's just bring this bear through a drive-through to let people know, don't feed them when they're at the zoo. Mm-hmm. So you're saying I shouldn't go into the enclosure, put a leash around the bear, take the bear into my Nissan Xterra, drive it to its favorite drive-through, ask it, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want
30,000 big bear.
Do you want fries? Do you want onion rings? Are you thirsty? Do you want a drink? Okay, but ice or no ice? Okay, I need a... So you never turn your back on a bear, even when you're putting in its food order.
Putting in its drive-through order.
So you've seen some pretty bad tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Like people get really cheap ones. Maybe people get some wrong spelling in their no regrets.
No regrets.
A Swedish mother named Johanna Gisela Sandström is a 30-year-old mom that wanted to honor her children Nova and Kevin. So she decided to get a tattoo with their names. So she told the tattoo artist, yeah, my kids are Nova and Kevin. Sat down and got a tattoo, wasn't paying attention. She walked out of there with a tattoo saying Nova and Kelvin. Oof, that's rough. But don't worry, she has a plan. Because you can get a tattoo removed, you can, alter it, you can cover it up, you can do a bunch of things to take care of it, right? So the obvious choice that she took was changing her kid's name to Kelvin. Because it was the easiest thing.
You're Calvin now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. My tattoo says it.
Isn't that a legal binding contract?
It is now. We've already had your name changed.
What the fuck?
Come on, Calvin.
I'm not responding to that.
Calvin.
Mm-mm.
Come on, Calvin. Calvin. Calvin.
No, you
did it.
You son of a bitch.
That's legally binding.
No take back seats.
No take back seats.
Yeah, it wasn't until she got home, she didn't notice till after it was all done. She got home and noticed it was wrong because she went back to the artist, who just kind of laughed at her and said, well, there's nothing we can do other than give you a refund, which she took. But she looked up tattoo removal, and her husband decided, it'd be smarter. Let's just rename the kid. And now they're trying to, I say, like, they've lied to themselves in a way that they started believing it, saying, it's unique. Like, no one else has her son's name, and luckily her young son was also taken well to the name.
Calvin Klein.
No, that's Calvin.
Kelvin.
This is Kelvin.
This is Calvin.
Kelvin. It's like Kevin, but you have something stuck to your tongue. Kelvin. What is that over there? And nowadays, she has a new kid, Freya. Okay, don't name your kid something fucking stupid in the first place. And she's going to get that name tattooed on her, too. So I love her.
Fredo? Why does it say Fredo?
Frodo.
I'm a big Godfather fan.
She said she's going to do a better job of looking at it this time.
Like, at all.
Yeah, just even once, a cursory glance.
Like when he says, how's that look? Don't just go, no, good, while you're texting.
Are you ready to get Timmy involved? Because we have another record.
Oh my God. They had just done 2.
A 2 record day.
Okay.
All right. Now, in a Massachusetts college student has performed quite a feat. I am, of course, talking about running a mile while juggling.
Okay.
Called juggling. The disappointment in your face.
God.
I can feel it. It's palpable. He ran.
It's what is it one more time?
Juggling. Yeah, that's right. It's juggling, but with an O. Juggling, which I assume is like juggalos running.
Ew.
He ran an impressive 4-minute, 43.2 second mile while juggling 3 lacrosse balls. I mean, that's super impressive. It's amazing. I don't know how he did it. Here's the thing. He did this at Boston University's Nickerson Field. This was his 3rd attempt of the day because the previous 2 attempts he had dropped the balls. He almost didn't. He said, "Oh, I almost didn't try it a 3rd time. I was getting really tired." Zach Prescott, you wily son of a bitch, you beat the record. Beat the record by 0.6 seconds.
You're gonna have to tell him he's really tired from having done that record and the other record. And someone in his condition shouldn't even be out of bed.
Hey, Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy, can you wake up for a second?
I'm really tired. I was eating Big Macs and then I was juggling.
I know you had 29,481 Big Macs, isn't that right?
That's the record.
You finally got a record, and I'm so proud of you.
Juggling.
I'm so proud of you about the Big Macs. Here's the problem.
What?
Someone ate more.
Like how many more?
He's up to 30,000, and he's still going.
What? No.
Yes. But at least you have the juggling, right?
Yeah, I'm a champion.
Oh, Timmy.
What?
Sweet, innocent, dying Timmy.
What?
Do you know my friend Zach Prescott?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Well, I told him about your record of the 4-minute, 43.8 seconds.
Seems like you seek people out.
I ran the mile while juggling.
I did really well.
And he said, well, I bet I could do that in Timmy's honor, too. I want to try it for the first time.
If it was in my honor, he should just come and give me a high five or something.
You know what? He is here to give you a high five. In fact, he wants to give you a high five while he's holding his plaque for the new world record of 4 minutes and 43.2 seconds for juggling.
Ah, Jesus fucking Christ.
Let's just give it up. Let's give it up for Zach. Timmy, clap. There it is. Okay. Okay. Well, you put on a good show there. We're gonna have to unplug you.
I don't understand why these two are connected every time. And then, so now I gotta find something else to beat. But here's the problem. This is what I've decided.
Okay.
Is every time I get a record, you actively go seek someone out to beat it.
I'm just so proud of you.
I know, but then you want to take me off of life support. Don't know why those two are connected. I've been trying to get a hold of my doctor, but it's just I don't know, what to tell you. But I just don't understand. So I gotta find another record. Sorry, I'm getting myself worked up.
Wow.
I mean, I joggled, and I even had my IV thing behind me. Like, this was...
It was really impressive.
Was he carrying an IV thing?
No, he's perfectly healthy.
It was a fucking asterisk.
Some would say you were doping.
No one says that.
I said that.
I know it.
I'm going to unplug you.
God
if
damn
it's the last thing I do in this hospital.
Don't you do it.
Timmy?
I'm working on my next record. Go fuck yourself.
Makes you want to blow up the world.
No, not yet.
No?
I have Close Encounters.
Oh!
This involves the church.
Oh!
So my nephew,
Oh, this story, okay.
8 years old, went through all the stuff to get his first communion.
Mm-hmm.
Did the first communion.
Okay.
Everything like that. He was there, so he goes to a Catholic elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they have a real racket going.
Do they use emojis in the Bible?
No. If you want your kid to wear, gym shoes, or, they have non-uniform days,
Okay.
you can do that, but you got to pay $3.
Okay.
So, little envelope sitting on the table and said, "What the hell is that?" And she goes, "Oh, I got to put $3 in it so he can not wear his uniform on casual Friday or whatever it is." I was like, "Well, he has to pay?" She's like, "Yeah, it's how they raise money for the school." I said, "Well, that sounds like a load of crap to me. You're already paying tuition, and now you got to pay $3 so that kid can wear shorts. What a load of shit." Well, it got worse.
Well, I was gonna say before it goes on.
That's pretty stupid.
That whole thing with casual Friday and stuff, there's companies will do everyone, you gotta pay $1, you can wear jeans on Friday, but all that money eventually goes to a party for everyone.
Yeah, or a lunch or something.
Yeah, so it's okay, we're gonna do this, but then at the end of April, with all the money we've gotten, we're gonna get catered food for lunch.
Yeah, when I worked for the bank, I was a part of the birthday club, in which you put in. I think you put in a certain amount of money, $20.
You put your right foot in,
Yeah,
and
then
your right foot out,
and then you shake it all
and then
out.
you put it back in. Though.
You got to put it back in first, and then you do the
shake
hokey
it.
pokey. You turn yourself around because that is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless,
low interest financing.
$20 every paycheck would go to the envelope, and then on someone's birthday, we cater in lunch.
Okay,
that's something.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Everyone's involved, and everyone gets the feel special.
They're at Mass.
Okay.
He goes up to get communion, and the priest will not give it to him because he's not wearing nice shoes.
Because
that's what Jesus was all about. I think Jesus said...
I think that's what the hokey pokey was all about.
Right.
Sorry, did I
take this piece of me as long as he has footwear that is good for Sunday.
If your kicks ain't fly,
right,
hit the bricks.
My question was...
on a Friday,
right,
you could pay $3 to be in casual clothes. And then when you're... this is at the school, and you're taking communion, mass, or whatever, you're doing that bullshit at the school, and they say, whoa... You paid to be dressed like this today to give us money. Fuck off.
Pretty much. The poor kid didn't understand why. They didn't tell him.
I don't understand why.
They didn't tell him why. And then we basically figured out only reason why was because he was wearing the wrong shoes. He was wearing the uniform, but he was wearing the wrong shoes.
Why fucking offer it if it's a thing that you can't do?
Now, this guy apparently at the end of the year announced that he wouldn't be back the next year because he's going to work for the bishop. So now he's basically fucking showing off as to be a hard-ass priest for his new bishop job. I was like, what about forgiveness?
Nope.
Nope.
Gotta climb that corporate ladder, bro.
I was like, that is the dumbest crap I've ever heard in my life.
That non-profit corporate ladder that's all about profit. Got to do it.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I was upset. But they obviously won't let me. I mean, I'm not going to deal with the church.
Sinner.
I'm a sinner. But
does it make you want to blow up the world?
It does. But don't.
But don't, because there's now been 2 stories in the past month about whales being found dead with 60 pounds of plastic in them. And
this is where we have the theme music.
And there was another one that was just found
whale news.
Last week with 17 pounds of plastic bags in it. There's a Florida brewery that has a solution to the 6-pack rings that kill wildlife. They have these 6-pack rings that can either be biodegradable or serve as a snack for wildlife. And it's been after years of research and development, the rings that are made of wheat and barley are now being implemented and showing up in Florida stores. The brewery is Saltwater Brewery from Delray Beach. They developed the rings with a startup called E6PR, which I think stands for every 6-year-old personally believes that
they're responsible
for telling Patrick he sucks. They're saying that the troubleshooting and the manufacturing rings was expensive, and the company hopes that other breweries will buy into the new rings to help bring costs down. Saying that, plastic pollution is a big issue for the Gulf of Mexico, which is according to a recent research by Louisiana State University. The Gulf has one of the world's highest concentrations of marine plastic.
They have an island. It's called Garbage Island.
Yeah. So if they can start doing ways of it's a very small step, but having 6-pack rings go from being deadly to wildlife to becoming food for wildlife.
Right. The other thing that they're doing for Garbage Island is they've basically found essentially they're these little, essentially microbes and insects that eat plastic.
We talked about that on a previous episode,
right,
for the Ray of Light. So this is now, I think it might have even been, I don't know if it was last episode or it was the episode before, but they have those special microbes that they found by accident, kind of, and decided to soup them up a notch, and they went on a hyperdrive, and they can really eat through the shit. So between that, we're not, undoing it as fast as we're doing it, but they've turned a corner and they started to actually give a shit about maybe not dumping.
I'm telling you, little microbes are going to be the saviors of the world, because they're using the same kind of things like little tardigrades. And the
I get tardigrades in my fish fillet.
Yeah. In the essential development of warp drive.
You saying you're going to go to motherfucking space? And
they're using essentially they're using light to
number one
to force
activate.
Basically, it'd be like a giant tent thing,
activate,
and then they shine a light at it, like a high-powered light, and it sends them rocketing through.
Number one.
It's crazy, but they need to see, they've got to find stuff with a little bit of our physiology to see if we can survive it.
Right.
So they're using tardigrades and these little things that have been here for centuries that survived.
Like the Big Mac.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to do it for this week. Where can they find us online?
You can find us on Twitter individually at PatrickNewsom42.
That's me.
At Hungry as a Bear. That's me. You can follow the entire DVM production empire at DVMPE. You can find this podcast by going to Facebook or YouTube, searching for Stupid's Talking Stupid.
You can find all the other things we do on the DVMPE.com. That's going to do it for this week. For Stupid's Talking Stupid, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Bear.
And we will talk to you later.